What's going on, guys? Today we have a very fresh and light cake recipe for you. I know like cake is usually dense and moist, which this will be moist for sure, but we are going to separate our eggs and we're gonna whip our egg whites up and fold them in so you will get a nice lightness to this cake. And then to add a little taste of freshness, we are going to add some fresh lemon zest. And this is a super simple recipe. We have 4 main ingredients. You got almond flour, you got your sweetener, you got your eggs, and then really just whatever additions you want. So you can leave this out and have a 3-ingredient cake. You can also add coconut flakes for the topping. So we're gonna keep it simple today and just get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is make our dough by using our almond flour sweetener and just our egg yolks. So we're gonna start with the base of 1.5 cups of almond flour, and it's super fine, just like me. Matt made that joke earlier. And then we have 2 sweeteners here we like to commonly use. So there's our erythritol, which is a low-carb sweetener, and this is a powdered one, but you can also use granular for this recipe. And then we have liquid stevia, and this is the concentrate, so you don't need a lot, and it goes a long way. And why we like to use 2 is because we like to cut back on all that erythritol, which could upset your tummy, especially if you're new to keto or low carb. And then we also don't want to just use a bunch of liquid stevia, which will have a bitter aftertaste. We're gonna have 1/3 cup of erythritol. Let's first add our lemon zest. We're gonna do about a teaspoon of lemon zest, whatever you really want. The more the better, right? Just make it all very fresh. This is a small lemon. I'm gonna use basically all of the skin here. And then we have 4 eggs, so I'm actually going to separate them out now and just put the yolks in with our almond flour here. So we've got our yolks and our whites separated. I'm gonna put my whites aside for now, and then we're just gonna add some stevia as well. Let's do like 10 to 15 drops. And now we're just gonna give it a nice whisking, and it'll form into a tough dough. That is totally fine because we are gonna be adding our whites into afterwards. So we've got our dough here. As you can see, it's very crumbly and tough. That's what we're looking for. So we're gonna set that aside for now. And we are gonna whisk these egg whites. We got 4 egg whites here until we have some stiff peaks. That'll be a minute or 2. Okay, so I kept insisting that they were stiff peaks, but we're actually looking for some soft peaks. So that's what we have here. And so I'm gonna bring back our dough, and we are going to add in half our whites to this mixture here and actually just whisk it fully so that the dough is pretty loose, and then we'll fold in the second half. Okay, so we have our nice and softened batter here now. And so I'm going to add the rest of the whites and gently fold them in so we still keep that airiness. And you can smell that lemon even just as I'm mixing it. So as it bakes, it's definitely gonna fill up that house with some nice smells. And that looks good to me. Okay, so our last couple steps, we have our oven preheated to 350 degrees, and we have an 8-inch springform pan right here. And springform means that it's an easy release and the bottom will just come right out, which is really nice to have. We even have like small, I think 4-inch ones for like mini cheesecakes, because they make getting like the cake out itself a lot easier. So we're gonna heavily grease this. You can also line it with parchment paper if yours is like beaten up and you think it'll stick a lot. Just using some avocado oil spray here. And all we do is transfer our batter. Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning, toppings are totally optional, but will make it a lot more fun and tasty. So we're actually going to do some coconut flakes unsweetened on top. Some slivered almonds would be really good, but we didn't have any on hand, so we're just gonna make do. Just do a nice topping. And that's all there is to it. So now we're gonna pop this in the oven, again, 350 degrees, 25 to 30 minutes, and our oven does run hot, so I'll check on it at 25, and then once we pull it out, we'll let it cool and we will taste test. Okay guys, we are back. We pulled our cake out at exactly 25 minutes because you can see that it has browned very nicely. Even some of the coconut chips got toasted, and we also allowed it to cool for about 20 minutes. And something I should have noted is that before we put it in the oven, we did pop it on a baking sheet. First of all, it's easier to put in, to remove, but also in case it leaks a little, you don't want that all in your oven. So we are going to open this guy up. Sometimes it's a good idea to just go along the rim with a knife so that you make sure it's not stuck. And there she is. Whipped this up on a weekend for brunch. Oh my goodness, so tasty. So we're gonna slice out a piece. Oh, came out nice. And so yeah, so it definitely looks nice and dense. Smells nice and fresh. You can even see some of the lemon zest in there. That lemon really comes through, and it's not that sweet, which is what I like a lot about it. So maybe some whipped cream and berries would be like the perfect touch to this, but it's nice and soft and moist. And I think serving it slightly warm like this is the best because that lemon and that slight sweetness really, really just come through. But this is just like a classic cake. So if you left out the lemon zest, left out the coconut topping, and you even did like 2 of these, you can make a perfect birthday cake or any sort of holiday cake. So we gave you a really nice base, and then you can even add cocoa powder, you can add cinnamon, you can really just have fun with this recipe, which is what I love about it. It's simple, it's straight to the point, and it's super delicious. So check out the blog post down below with a recipe, ingredients, step by step on how to make this, and let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.